Hello, do-it-yourself design secrets specialists. And my name is Valerie Ketjen, also known as Miss Vitality. And I created this do-it-yourself design secrets mastermind class to help anyone who is on a tight budget, who has more time than they have money, to create things, to design things that they could do themselves instead of well, hiring expensive designers, right? So in part one, you discovered how to create flat designs and the basics of design. Now, today we're going to build upon that. In part two, we're going to go on to creating mockups. And as you see, this presentation was created using a Canva presentation template. And I'm showing it as a scrolling website, as that is also possible to publish in the Canva area, to publish it as a website or presentation. So first of all, let's discuss what we're gonna discuss in this presentation, in this session, and what you'll be learning, and how that can help you in the by the end of the session. So first of all, you may be asking yourself, like, what the hell is a mockup, right? So I'll go into detail into what a mockup is and what it really is beneficial for, what you can use it for. Also, I'll be going through if it is hard to make or quite easy. I'll be taking you through the software that I found very nice to use, the paid versus the free option. And I'll take you through two examples of how to create two different types of mockups. So there's the six steps to create an ecover bundle for an e-course, and there's a 5-step example of creating a book mockup. But that book mockup could be any other product. It doesn't really have to be a book. So let's dive into what are mockups. Now, there is a difference between a product mockup and a course mockup. Now, a mockup itself, in general, is a realistic digital presentation of a product that hasn't yet been physically produced. As you see this book, The 7 Prana Rebel Metabolic Secrets, this book is actually not a physical printed book. It only exists as an ebook version, which the content of you'll see more in part 3, where we really create the content of the ebook. But this mock-up is really the outside, like the packaging. Now, this digital presentation really gives you an idea of a book rather than just the digital file, right, of reading it. So imagine if it weren't a book. In this case, for a book, you don't have to go through the cost and effort of spending money on writing it, editing it. Obviously, you have to write it and edit it, but you don't have to print it, ship it, transportation, logistics, all those costs and all that effort that goes into that. You can just skip all that by making a 3D mock-up, right? And imagine what that means for other products. So for a book, it's more sustainable to sell a digital product, but for realistic products that you will be selling, like, for example, mugs or garments or water bottles, just to name a few, because there's so much more that you could create mock-ups for. You wouldn't have, by designing a mock-up, you wouldn't have to go to the effort and cost of producing the product before you take a photo of it and display it on your website to sell. So in fact, you can start making money. You can make, by making the digital mock-up, you can start selling the product without it being produced yet, and have a certain lead time for the production. So this creates such an opportunity that this is amazing for the small online entrepreneurs, right? So that's one benefit of a product mock-up, of a 3D mock-up for a product. Now, the other one I'm going to show you is the ecover bundle. And you may have seen this somewhere before, maybe the do-it-yourself design secrets, maybe you've seen this bundle, maybe you've seen a different bundle, but this is the visualization of an online course. Now, imagine for a second, like how tangible is a course. When you go to an offline course, you may go to a physical building, you may go to a professor, a class, and there's always this, you make it like a brochure of what the class contains, right? But with an online course, a digital course, there is no building, there are maybe no books to use, and the professor or the teacher is obviously someone who is going to be online and not in person giving the class. So what you want to do is create this value of this perception of the value of your course. And that's exactly what an ecover bundle does. Now, here you see a MacBook, an iMac, and an iPad, and a phone, but you could also incorporate a worksheet, a workbook with like a spiral bind, or another book. Depending on the content of your course, you could take elements off or include more elements. So we'll dive into that later on. You'll see more of that in the software itself. But for now, I just want to show you that, and show you that this actually adds the value of the presentation of your ecover, of your online course. It's really the packaging of your course. And often the packaging is most important for the perceived value of it. So by creating this bundle, you're going to increase the perceived value. Now you may wonder, like, how that must be so difficult, right? Or really expensive to create these 3D, these mock-up things. Well, it isn't. I came across this software, an online software, which is called Placeit. And it's not drag and drop, but it's as simple. It is click and crop. So if I give you a little demonstration, you just click the file in your computer, you crop it, you confirm, and poof, like magic, you've got this 3D image, right, that you can download. So it's that simple. There's no tech skills required, and you can turn this 2D design into a 3D design within minutes. So that's really the amazing part of this software. Now, let me show you how accessible this software is as well, because the basis is free. When you go to placeit.net, you could use the software for free. You only pay when you download. And if you download one or two or less designs per month, you basically are best off just to pay per download, because they're about $7, $8, $9 per download. If you go beyond that, so beyond 2 designs per month, you're best off with the monthly membership, which is $14.95 per month. Or if you know you're going to use it more often, then go for the yearly membership. Paying all at once will get you the software access that comes down to about $7.47 per month, which is actually like paying 1 design per month, right? All right, so let's dive into that ecover bundle. I'm going to show you 6 steps to create an attractive ecover bundle for your course. Now, I'm going to use this framework, but obviously you could use whichever you want. Now, step 1 is to go to placeit.net and search for responsive. Now, you're going to come to the homepage, placeit.net, has a search bar. And if you click responsive in there, which means the responsive um, devices, so depending on which device you have, you want a responsive website. So searching for responsive, it's going to show you the latest designs in responsive websites, models, sorry. You see models with background, without background, placed in with a person or without people. And as you click, you're going to choose a certain model. And you saw that if you hover over the the empty design, it's going to actually show you an example, a mock-up of what it could look like when you click it. So there you have your template, right? Your responsive template. Now you see the blue images. We go to step 2 is to check the dimensions, because each and every different template has different requirements. So in this case, there are 4 screens, 4 files you're going to have to upload, one for each of these screens. The iMac, for example, in the middle is 1920 times 1080. That means it's 1920 pixels wide and 1080 pixels high. And the other ones, you see the dimensions for the iMac, the iPad, and the iPhone. Now, those dimensions are for this specific template. They may differ, so the iMac won't be 1920 times 1080 in a different template. That's why you also always have to check these requirements. Now, remember the biggest one. The biggest file is going to be 2304 1440, because we're going to back to Canva. For step 3, we're going to create that biggest design first using the create a design custom dimension option in Canva. So you click the create design, you click custom dimension, and then you're gonna write down the dimensions, 2304 times 1440, create new design, which is going to give you a new blank template. First thing you do is you create a name. You title your design. In this case, it's an ecover for, I think the MacBook. And then I am going to my folders, my designs, and take this presentation, basically, because if I click that one of those presentations, I'm going to be able to incorporate one of those files. And there it is. Now, you only see that there's the, what is it? There's the photo, my portrait photo is just a bit too high right there. So we'll be able to adjust that later on. So that largest design is the first one you do, but make sure to have that first design to be really a kick-ass 2D design before moving on. And this is something that you might outsource to a pro. If you're really starting off with Canva, or you're not too confident in the designing process, you may want to just have this done by a professional designer. Really, there's enough for every budget. Just scroll on Fiverr, look for them, and look at the templates that look at the designs that they are showcasing, and you'll find something that goes within your budget and that appeals to you in your style. Okay, so when you've got that first 2D design, the biggest one, you're going to resize it. Now here you see that I already adjusted that photo. I put it down. And then you're going to adjust that biggest file to the smaller one, and then the smaller one, and then the smaller one. And you go to this resize option from Canva, as you resize and then take the next size. In this case was the iMac was 1920 times 1080. And then you copy and resize. Your new file is going to be created automatically as a copy of that first file, the ecover MacBook. So I'm going to rename it immediately so I know exactly what this is. It's the ecover for the iMac. And then you'll see that there's a couple glitches. Now I can't reframe it, so I'm going to have to fiddle around and zoom in for a moment to select that filter and make it bigger, slightly wider to the right, slightly wider to the left, and there it is. Back to the normal setting. Maybe the photo to the left so that the rest is more in position. And there you go. That is one resize, and you'll do that for the smaller one and the smallest one, the iPad and the iPhone. Now you'll notice that for the iPad and the iPhone, I've done it slightly differently. Once you've designed the different, you've resized, then you're going to download in the top right corner, download as a JPG file, which is a small file. And then download it to whichever folder. Actually create, oh, I love these little quotes that help you, that inspire you. It always seems impossible until it's done, said by Nelson Mandela. How appropriate that is. So you may have thought that creating an ebook or an e-cover was impossible until you do it, and you see this right now. I love those quotes that help you come through the downloading time from Canva. Now, when it's done preparing, it's going to offer you the option to choose where you're going to save your design. And I'm creating a folder called eCovers and saving it there. So it will save automatically on the name that you created for your file. Now, when you've downloaded all those 4 files, we're going to go back to Place It and actually upload it. And this is really the most simple part. So if you choose the smallest file first, upload image to, for example, the iPhone screen, and when you click on that upload image button, you're going to go immediately to your files, go to the folder eCovers, choose the iPhone eCover file, and crop if you need to. Now you see I've kind of changed the little template there. Then the next one, the iPad, and then it goes automatically to the eCovers. Crop, click and crop. And like magic, it's coming up. Then the MacBook, we'll choose the MacBook file as well. Obviously, it's in the right size. Crop it. And there it is. And the last one is the iMac. Click, crop, and your eCover bundle is done, right? It's ready to download. When you have a membership, you can download limitlessly. So you click the purple button and then you'll download to a place on your computer. If you don't have the membership, then to the left of that purple button will be a price, a one-time price. So you could download it for free use. And ta-da! Congratulations! You can now create your own awesome eCover bundle based on a 2D design. So that wasn't that hard, right? Let's go to the book. If we go to that product template, there's a little extra customization that you can make here, and I'll show you that. So if you go to placeit.net and search for books, you will have the editor look for all the books, and there'll be single books, multiple books. If you scroll over the image, you'll see an example of the mock-up. There's with colored images, colored backgrounds, no backgrounds, people holding the books. So there's limitless possibilities. So let's go for this stack of books that the pile of books that I created my ebook with. And as you wait for it to load, you'll see to the left, the upload image. There's 4 boxes of to fill. And there are some customizations at the right. All right. Now, 4 boxes to fill. Let's go to step 2. We need 2 files. 2 files that will both have to upload twice. So the first file is the cover page, and it says on the image already that it is 1,000 pixels wide and 1,400 pixels high. And the spine, you don't see that right here, but you see that in the upload image corner. The spine needs to be 200 pixels wide and 1,400 pixels high. So same counts here for the ebook, the product, as for the ecover bundle, is you check those dimensions before going back to Canva. So going back to Canva, you produce the flat files. So the flat files being the cover, and 2, the spine. Now, seriously, a little tip here. Books are totally judged by their cover. So you would do yourself an enormous favor to invest a few bucks in having your book cover designed by a professional designer. You really want your look and feel and your authentic identity and brand personality to speak through that design. Now, if you don't have a logo or a style, brand personality style yet, I would advise you to go through the branding bootcamp so that you can create this brand personality. But for now, know that just books are really judged by their cover, and you want this to really be spot on. And only design the cover yourself if you are actually a professional designer, or if you have a lot of experience, extensive experience with Canva and with designing things yourself. Otherwise, really just outsource it for those few bucks, for like somewhere between 50 or 90 bucks. People on Fiverr do an amazing job to deliver you a fantastic design. Now, make sure if you do outsource it, to tell the designer what you're doing it for, what you need the design for. So you're going to need the cover. Maybe they can also make a spine. If you're a bit handy yourself, then you can just do the cover yourself and then resize it, just like we did with the ecover bundle. But resizing the spine is a little more complicated, as the file needs a bit more tweaking. Also, when you're ready, download those files as JPG files. And then we're ready to go back to place it for the easy part, which is to upload. And when you upload, first you're going to choose the file, the cover, for example, crop it, and it's going to place at the front. Then the spine of the front book is spine 2 right there. I had to fiddle around a bit with the spine. Put it in there. And then the second cover, which is the left book, the top one of the stack, same file, but in a different placement. And the last one, the spine of the pile of books, which is going to copy 3 of those spines in one go. And then there's customization. So there's a customization option for the book color, the color of the book itself. If I click purple there, the same color that of my rim, it creates a purple book. And I'm going to do this just to add a little bit more depth. Gives a bit more perspective in there. And then you want to create a transparent background so this file can be used anywhere. right? So you're going to download it as a PNG file, which has a transparent background. And again, if you don't have the membership, the price for the download is going to be right beside the purple button. And if you do have the membership, you download through the purple button. Ta-da! Now you have the digital presentation of your product. How cool is that? You are now a kick-ass designer. This is the end of part 2. I hope you enjoyed looking at learning how you can make mock-ups, and that you're inspired to actually create a mock-up. And I hope to see you on to part 3, where we actually create the inside of the ebook. And it will look a bit like this. It is, besides learning how to design it and to put it into this online file, I'll also incorporate an 8-step framework to structure and write this ebook, or the same framework can be used to create a course. So before really doing the designing and then uploading to the system, we're also going to go into the preparing, how to really structure that before going into the designing. And still more to come. Part 4 is easily edit your beautiful teasers, ads, info videos, and sales videos. I really love doing this, and without really having to learn a complex program or outsource to a pro. Now, there are very complex programs and fancy functions and stuff, but this really is easy to use, down to earth. Anyone can use it. So I'm really excited to show you about that. And then finally, besides the visual part of creating compelling ads, you actually need to know about this 3-part framework, which is going to help you create posts and ads that really attract your dream clients and repel the ones that you rather not work with. So it's going to help you filter your client base and do more of what you love. So that is actually the end of part 2 of Do-It-Yourself Design Secrets. Tune in next time for part 3. Wishing you a lovely day. Bye-bye.